Hi, I'm Cathy Reiling, Master Trainer with EFTi International, with a tapping tip for you. So when you're working with your events and you're working with your personal peace procedure, sometimes an event will come up and it's not the time to work on it. You may have gone from one event and you're working on it, and then another event pops up in your mind. And so we call this daisy chaining. And so when you go from one event and then another event pops up, when you're doing your own work, you want to stay with the one you're working with. When you're working with a practitioner, you can go ahead and they can move, if that's kind of where the energy is taking you from that event to this event, it's okay to follow the energy, is what we call it, and go ahead and do the other events, and then they will keep track for you and keep track of the events. But we recommend when you're working with yourself, with your personal peace procedure on your own stuff, one event at a time is how you want to work. And once that one's cleared, then you can move to another one unless you're done for the day. So what do you do when these show up and all of a sudden, whoa, okay, I just remembered something, and what do I do with that? And you're working on this other event over here. So this is a technique you can do with invasive thoughts. You can do this with when another event shows up. You can do this when you're having a tricky time just focusing and you really want to focus on this one thing, but the other things are kind of interfering. This is also something you can do at night. I have a client who does this at nighttime when there's a lot of thoughts or whatever's going on. She does this technique as well. And it's a distancing technique. And it's box container, or it's containing what's coming and invading your thoughts when you want to be focusing on something else. So this isn't the actual box container technique that we teach in level 2. This is more of a distancing technique where using boxing or containing whatever is coming into your mind. So I'm going to bring up a slide here that can help for a visual. So let's just say you have an event that's shown up and it is just kind of not letting you focus on what you want to be focusing on. So here's what you can do. You can put it in a box container. So, and that can look like anything. Here's just some examples, like a vase, a wooden box with a latch, a safe that locks, a pretty little cushion box, a garbage can, a huge container, a little heart box, a little jewelry box. It's your imagination, you can have it be whatever you want, but make sure it's a neutral container, not something that's special to you, like your very own little jewelry box where the little music box opens up and the little girl dances or whatever. If you have one, you don't want to necessarily put stuff there. You want to have a neutral container. So you imagine it and you describe it. So now your focus is going off whatever you're thinking of and into this container. And you're going to take some time to go ahead and put whatever the thought is into the container. So you're going to describe the container, the physical characteristics, the material it's made of, the size, the color, the shape. And then once you have this container, and it's a wooden box, what kind of wood is it made out of? Is it lacquered? I'm looking at this one down here. It does have a lock on it. Is there any descriptions on it? Like this one here has the pretty ribbon. Does it have any carvings in it? Look at the description of the vase. So you're just really letting your attention focus on the description of this box. Like this safe has a way you can lock it and turn it to the right or to the left and it'll lock the safe. This trash can just has a lid. You can have chains around it. You can have bungee cords around it, or it can just be there. So however you want it to be. And then when you have the container, you go ahead and imagine yourself placing all of that, whatever it is, in that container. And then you get into the description of it, what it's made of, the size, the color, the shape, then the location. And you can have the location be wherever you want. It can be on a locomotive, on the moon, on another planet, out in the beautiful forest, under the water, in a closet in the office, on a cruise ship, or on the beach. That's where all mine will go. So anywhere you want it, on a hot air balloon, that works well too. They all work well. So then you have your location. You have the box and the location, and then what you can do with it. So there it is. There's your distancing, and you just kind of think about the container itself, putting it on in the location where you would put it, and then you bring your attention back to whatever you were working on. And should the thought come back at all, just remind it where it's at, and that you will get to it later when it's time, when it's appropriate. But for right now, you're going to focus on what's at hand and what you want to be working on. It kind of helps us have more choice as to what we're doing by distancing ourselves like this. There was one person that I talked to for a few minutes one time. I only had a couple minutes to talk with her, and she had something that was really, really bothering her. And I didn't have time to spend time tapping with her at all. So we just did this. We put this event in the container. I had her describe it to me and everything, and she sent it away somewhere. And the next week I saw her, we didn't have an opportunity to tap on it. She goes, "It's still there. It's still there." So it really does help to distance that so you can focus with it, what's at hand. So I hope you enjoyed this tip, and thank you, and blessings on your tapping journey.